Coming up.
It's going to take us there.
And I'm not driving.
No hands, no feet.
Here we go. We are going, look at this, into a construction zone.
Tesla's self-driving technology is here.
Completely revolutionised the world.
But can it be trusted?
Tesla drivers, in a sense, are guinea pigs.
So is everyone else on the road.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
It's not that widely known yet, but a revolution is happening on our roads. Self-driving cars have arrived in Australia. They're Teslas, fitted with updated software, which means their drivers can get where they need to go with their hands off the wheel and their feet off the pedals. There's no doubt the technology seems impressive, but that doesn't guarantee it's safe or even that it works. In America, self-driving Teslas have been involved in serious crashes, a number of them fatal. So what are Australia's road and vehicle regulators doing to stop similar tragedies happening here? Well, not a lot. Now, have you got the key?
I have the key. This is it.
That's the key.
Yeah, in reality, pairs to your phone, but this little piece of plastic is our ticket to the future.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's do it. If you consider driving to be a fairly mundane necessity to get from A to B, strap yourself in. Because this Tesla is changing our roads, for better or for worse. It's bristling with Tesla's latest full self-driving technology, which has come to Australia for the very first time.
All we do is press and hold for full self-driving supervised, and we are away.
It's going to take us there.
Indicators
Oh my
on,
goodness.
and off we go.
That is a really weird feeling.
It's bananas.
My driver, or car supervisor, is motoring expert James Ward. He's head of content at Drive and a self-proclaimed car tragic. But today, behind the wheel, he doesn't need to do very much at all. I've got to say, it's a little unnerving
It's a
that
bit
you're
wild.
driving with your hands off the wheel.
And I'm not driving, right? But here's the thing, I am looking and I'm concentrating.
Tesla software makes all the decisions for him. What does this technology do? What are all the things this car is doing for you right now?
Okay, so accelerating and brake is the easy. So it is.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Now it saw we're at a pedestrian crossing, and it saw people approaching.
You didn't brake?
I didn't touch it.
You're not accelerating?
Nope.
There's no doubt it's impressive and surprisingly easy to get used to. But as you'll see, computers can make bad decisions too.
Isn't it? Now here we go. We are going. Look at this. We are going into a construction zone.
Tonight, the benefits and the risks of automated driving. And the mounting toll of Tesla's tech failures.
They have been overhyping and under-engineering these vehicles for a decade, all in an effort to prop up their trillion-dollar valuation.
Getting in a car will be like getting in an elevator. You just tell it where you want to go, and it takes you there with extreme levels of safety, and that'll be normal.
Year after year for the last decade, Elon Musk has hyped up Tesla's capabilities.
The car can do almost anything.
Telling customers their cars are right on the cusp of being fully autonomous.
Less than 2 years away from complete autonomy. Wow. Complete. Safer than a human.
To critics, their overinflated promises about Tesla's self-driving technology that have lulled some owners into a false sense of security.
This is very uncomfortable so far.
Where you could literally get in the car, go to sleep, and wake up at your destination.
Creating dangerous levels of complacency behind the wheel. Tesla's just rolled this technology out in Australia. What concerns do you have for Australian drivers?
The jury is no longer out, the jury is in. The technology has a lot of problems.
Like Elon Musk, Dr. Missy Cummings has spent a lifetime testing the limits of technology. One of the US Navy's first female fighter pilots, She's now director for the Autonomy and Robotics Centre at Virginia's George Mason University. But unlike the Tesla boss, Missy doesn't have confidence in his self-driving cars.
I think self-driving cars do not think, do they? They don't know. They don't reason like humans reason. They don't imagine. They just execute based on patterns that they've seen in the world. And so most of the time, they do an okay job. They mimic human driving. They don't mirror it.
Dr. Cummings says Teslas are at a disadvantage because of the sensors they rely on to decipher the world around them. Most self-driving car manufacturers combine 3 different technologies, deploying not only arrays of cameras, but LiDAR, which uses lasers to build up a detailed 3D picture of the vehicle's surroundings, and radar, which helps penetrate bad weather and detect objects that are further away. But Elon Musk has rejected LiDAR as lame and radar as unnecessary. For years, he's insisted that cameras are all Teslas need to remain safe.
You can absolutely be superhuman with just cameras. Like, you could probably do 10 times better than humans with just cameras.
Tesla says they don't need the radar and they don't need the LiDAR, that because you have 2 eyes, they can get away with stereoscopic vision on their cars. And so that's all they have. And this is just flat out incorrect. Robots cannot operate in safety-critical systems with just one sensor.
The cameras are trained to recognise obstacles that humans would avoid. What difficulties can they have?
Of the 3 sensors that I talked about, LiDAR, radar, computer vision is the most unreliable of all of those sensors.
And that means in some cases, Teslas have ploughed headlong into hazards that would be immediately obvious to human eyes, or more sophisticated self-driving technology.
We've seen Teslas run broadside into tractor trailers. They often do not see stopped vehicles on the highway.
If those other sensors are so critical, why would Tesla put these cars on the road with cameras alone?
I think it's a great question for Tesla. My estimation is that they're trying to make money. Those other sensors are very expensive.
It perhaps explains why, as we drive through Sydney, our Tesla makes a potentially serious error.
Now, here we go. We are going, look at this. We are going into a construction zone.
That was a no entry sign.
That was a no entry sign. So we have come into where there is a construction zone.
Okay.
So I've taken over driving now, and we have made an error, and we're going to have to explain ourselves to the man in the high vis. There we go.
Keep going straight, it takes you back to the freeway.
Sorry.
We'll let the car make the decision next time. So thank you.
Thanks, mate.
So there
I
you
had
go.
a moment there where I thought there might be cars coming towards us when I saw those no entry signs.
Yeah,
I have to say, my heart stopped a little.
So-
We're back on the freeway within moments. No harm done, this time. But as Tesla rolls out its newest technology on Australian roads, there have already been other close calls.
Okay,
wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was definitely an intervention.
Okay, no.
Dr. Cummings is extremely concerned, but she's not surprised. She's seen much worse play out on American roads.
I probably get 2 or 3 calls a week from lawyers whose clients have either been killed or maimed in some kind of Tesla collision. And I fully expect that within just days, maybe weeks of this technology rolling out there, I feel quite confident that Australian lawyers are going to be calling me and adding to my list of American lawyers who are calling me.
And now, the car maker has been put on notice.
That was one of the closest calls we've ever had.
Coming up, the miracle survivor who took on Tesla.
Like, I felt like this technology wasn't ready yet and that it failed. and I just felt like an experiment.
What is the location of your emergency?
I don't know what happened. I ended up missing the turn. I was looking down, and I don't know if I hit him or not. There's a guy laying on the ground right here. His airbag hit his car.
Okay, you hit his car?
Yeah, oh my God. Sir.
Okay, listen. Hey.
Sir.
Hey,
sir, are you breathing? Help!
When Florida police arrived at this horrific car crash in April 2019, they knew it was going to be a long and confronting night.
Who else is involved?
I was driving, I dropped my phone and looked down, and I ran the stop sign and hit the guy's car.
So which car are you driving?
This car, Tesla right here.
The driver of the Tesla, finance executive George McGee, was quick to admit he didn't have his eyes on the road. His Model S was operating on autopilot when he dropped his phone and bent down to look for it, confident any obstacles would be detected and avoided by the self-driving technology.
Which way were you going?
I was coming from the T here.
So, did you stop at the stop sign?
No, I didn't, sir. I don't think. I honestly don't know. I looked down. I didn't know how close I was to the intersection.
The momentary distraction would prove disastrous. The Tesla's cameras failed to detect a stop sign, and McGee ploughed through an intersection, slamming into a parked four-wheel drive and two people standing beside it. One of them, 27-year-old Dylan Angulo, was critically injured. What do you remember of the crash?
So I didn't remember anything. I woke up in the hospital wanting to know what happened to me.
6 years on, the simplest tasks are still a daily battle for Dylan. His happy, active life was forever ruined.
I had a pelvic fracture. My sacrum was also fractured. And then, I had a brain bleed, and I have a lot of mental and physical fatigue from that. I broke my jaw. I have this scar down here on my jaw. I should have been dead.
Okay, go. 1, 2, 3. Get him in there.
Dylan was so badly hurt, he couldn't tell paramedics that he wasn't alone. It was 10 agonising minutes before they realised there was another victim, his girlfriend, Nibel Benavides.
He got ejected. He got ejected.
Okay, wait a minute though. There's ladies' flip-flops.
Yeah, but it was when it spun.
There's a pair of ladies' flip-flops.
Nibel was thrown more than 20 metres from the car.
Okay, she's right there. Right there in the bushes.
She's
very pale.
It would be weeks before Dylan was told she didn't survive.
I have to remember for the rest of my life that I didn't bring back Nibel to her family. I didn't bring her back home. I'm dealing with this pain that I have every day. It's always reminding me. I'm trying to have faith and trying to believe that Nibel losing her life will hopefully save more lives and showing the world what these cars are capable of.
Time for trial for car maker Tesla and its CEO Elon Musk.
Dylan and Nibel's family sued not only the driver of the Tesla, but the car manufacturer itself. They boldly refused a private settlement, going public with their fight to hold the richest man in the world accountable for his overhyped claims about his vehicle's abilities. And they won.
There has been a verdict in the Tesla trial.
A federal jury in Florida has found automaker Tesla partially liable.
In an unprecedented ruling made just 2 months ago, Tesla was found to be partly liable because its autopilot software failed to prevent the crash. The court awarded the victims $375 million.
We can be proud that we stood up and that we did everything in our power to help shine light on what's going on.
Why was it so important for you to sue Tesla?
Like I felt like this technology wasn't ready yet, and that it failed. You know, it killed my bell and severely injured me, and I just felt like an experiment.
It was a historic verdict. This was an opportunity for a jury to sit through 3 weeks of evidence and decide, based upon that evidence, to send a very strong message to Tesla. You cannot use our public roadways as a test track.
Brett Schreiber is one of America's top lawyers in wrongful death cases. He led the charge against Tesla in the courtroom, convincing a jury that while the driver was partly to blame, Tesla's technology failed to live up to expectation, and the company should therefore bear some responsibility. The driver dropped his phone, he was distracted.
Yes.
How could Tesla be held responsible for that?
This was a case about shared responsibility. There is no question that what this man did was wrong, but he also had an expectation based upon the marketing, based upon, the fact that he spent $5,000 extra on something called enhanced autopilot. Well, one would think that that would do something, and it did nothing.
Proving the technology had failed was made even more challenging when, incredibly, Tesla insisted data from the car didn't exist. It was later revealed to be an outright lie.
When that body-worn camera footage was being filmed, Tesla had already received over the air a full packet of data that told them exactly how the system worked, how it failed, and why this crash happened. Literally before the dust had finished settling from the crash. And then for the next 4.5 years, they claimed they didn't have it, and in fact, they went so far as to delete it. And they got caught.
When the data was discovered, Tesla was sanctioned by the court for withholding evidence, and that evidence was indisputable.
The data from the autopilot computer showed that all the autopilot system did, it didn't warn, it didn't brake. All it did 1.3 seconds before impact was shut off.
Dr. Missy Cummings says it's a clear demonstration of the flaws in Tesla's technology. A world-leading expert in autonomous systems, Missy testified against Tesla in the trial. She says the car maker has been effectively experimenting with its software on public roads, putting lives at risk.
Tesla, unlike other car companies, has what they call beta testing. So indeed, when anyone gets into a car, you'll get this warning that says you're driving beta software. That is a software development speak for untested, not mature. And so even Tesla admits that that their software in the cars is not mature, and they constantly are pushing over-the-air updates to fix bugs. Just like in your phone, you'll have to constantly update it. That's what happens in Tesla vehicles.
So Tesla drivers, in a sense, are guinea pigs.
I think Tesla drivers are guinea pigs, but I think the bigger problem is so is everyone else on the road.
Where you could literally get in the car, go to sleep, and wake up at your destination.
For Brett Schreiber, Elon Musk's overinflated promises were at the heart of the case. How big is that contradiction between what we've heard from Tesla about this technology and what we see on the roads and in the evidence in court?
You have Tesla in the showroom, right? And Tesla in the showroom talks about how they have created a full self-driving car. And then you put that up against Tesla in the courtroom. And Tesla in the courtroom talks about how this is just a driver assistance feature. It requires constant supervision. No one else in the world who is producing this technology calls it auto anything, because it's not. And the jury saw that.
How do you view Elon Musk's role in all this?
He set the stage. He created the expectation in ordinary consumers that this car was more than what it ever was. They shout from the hilltops that this is full self-driving, a car that can drive itself. It's fully autonomous. And then they show up in court and they go, but look what we say in the owner's manual that no one has ever read.
Whoa! What the hell? It just tried to turn right across there.
Now it's Australia's turn to be Tesla's training track.
It's now decided to go behind a parked car.
And Dr. Cummings has warned authorities here about the dangers. What response did you get from the Australian government?
Nothing.
One month into Tesla's Australian rollout of self-driving cars, owners here have clocked more than 1 million kilometres using the new technology. And as we discovered, it's a real novelty.
I'm supposed to be concentrating, I'm supposed to be paying attention, and I am looking, and my foot's hovering. But I dare say the more you do this, the more you'll trust it.
Car expert James Ward is behind the wheel, but his hands aren't on it. Tesla calls this full self-driving supervised.
So the supervised word is the key here, and this is where we are in this sort of grey area of technology where the capability of the car outweighs the legislation and the understanding of what this can mean. So in Australia, we are allowed up to what is known as level 2 autonomy. So that requires the human to be fully in control of the vehicle. The capability of this car is very much moving into that level 3 technology space. But in Australia, our legislation will not allow a level 3 car. So we need these safeguards for the system to be allowed in Australia.
Is that supervised word to protect road users or Tesla?
Arguably, it's there to protect Tesla. It's there to allow this to be in market.
Automated vehicles, or AVs, are coming to Australia soon. So we need to get ready.
This ad was released by Canberra a few months ago, but the federal government is anything but ready. In April this year, after a meeting with Tesla, a top government policy advisor wrote to transport departments across the country, warning that the technology is extremely advanced and brings risks of drivers becoming complacent or over-reliant on the system while still being liable. Incredibly, instead of bolstering regulations, the main concern raised was how to respond to media questions about safety.
You just can't bury your head in the sand and think, well, we'll deal with that, when it arrives. Once it's in the market, it's very hard to control and very hard to pull back.
Russell White is CEO and founder of the Australian Road Safety Foundation. He's alarmed by the government's lack of action and the potential consequences.
I think in our current setup, drivers aren't trained well enough, full stop, in our current system, to let alone introduce something that is going to require a large amount of self-regulation. Just that startle effect, the time it takes for the person to go, what's happening? It's too late, the crash on the road's already happened.
What will it take for the government to properly address this technology?
Well, I think sadly it's going to take something major to happen. And my fear is once the genie's out of the bottle, we won't know the full impact of that maybe until some years' time. And sadly, that may cost a lot of lives.
Autonomous vehicle expert Dr. Missy Cummings has seen the horrific consequences of Tesla's technology faults in the United States and is adamant the same could happen here.
I do think your regulators should be asking Tesla, how much training have you done on Australian street signs, or have they done anything to make sure that this car knows Australia is different than America?
In fact, so concerned was Dr. Cummings about Tesla bringing its self-driving cars here, she wrote to the federal government several years ago.
I wanted to communicate to them that there were serious problems with this technology and that they needed to pay attention.
What response did you get from the Australian government?
Nothing.
The problem for Australians with self-driving cars is this. The technology has outpaced our decision makers. As it stands, the cars are legal as long as the driver is in control, but it's at the discretion of the police. So if something goes wrong, you could lose points and be fined for driving with your hands off the wheel. The federal government is planning to create new laws for autonomous vehicles, but not before the end of next year. We wanted to know why it was taking so long, but the Minister for Transport, Catherine King, didn't want to speak with us. Curiously, neither did Tesla. Leaving those who've seen the failures firsthand to do the talking.
Don't be fooled by the marketing of these cars. Don't be fooled by what Elon Musk says.
Dylan Angulo lost his girlfriend and was left with life-changing injuries after a Tesla on autopilot ploughed into the pair in Florida in 2019. He successfully sued the car maker in a case that has prompted a slew of similar litigation. And while Dylan says he's yet to find peace with what happened, it has given him purpose.
I'm hoping that, us exposing Tesla and showing what they did to us will also help bring justice to other families and hopefully shine light and show people that these cars aren't safe. Don't trust them with your family.
Hello, I'm Amelia Adams. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.